Welcome to the darkness.
Hello. Welcome to the Nut House.
That's not our show, is it?
It's
well,
their
show.
Welcome to the jungle.
Welcome to the jungle. So we have a new host to introduce, the lovely Adele.
Oh, hello.
Oh, sorry, wrong one. Sorry.
Right here.
So Adele is joining the crew. We are so excited to have her. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Adele.
Okay, well, I'm originally from Washington, and I grew up, and I got older, and let's see.
It happens.
I know it's unfortunate. It's genetic, it's genetic. I went to college, and I graduated with a degree in education. I taught for a few years, and I just kind of got burnt out. I got married, I got divorced, and my trip to myself was to go live in New York for 6 months. So I went to New York and had a blast. And then at the end of the 6 months, it's like, well, I think it's time to come home. But I'm 55. I have to think about that for a minute. And when I turned 50, something amazing happened to me that made me believe everything. So I live here in Pocatello with my wife Carmen, and we have a haunted house. We actually have a YouTube called Home Sweet Haunted Home, but we haven't really done much with it. So I'm really happy to have found Pocatello Paranormal. So,
Yay! We love it. People are excited.
You might change your mind. You might change your mind later.
He might go back to New York.
Oh, probably, yeah. With the weather lately, I don't know.
Oh, the wind.
So
the
gross.
Wind.
It's so
Just
gross.
won't
And
stop.
snow.
Well,
No more
New
snow.
York has snow. Hate to break it to you, Adele.
No, New York. I moved there in January of 2022, and it was very cold. Very, very
Oh,
cold.
it's cold up there.
Well, that's where you go get some coffee.
Some cold.
Yeah, it's a
Coffee.
pizza.
You go to the bar.
And pizza.
Go to the bar and get some coffee. Get a slice.
Somebody woke up Max's alter ego.
Hey, there you go. Look. I'm really gonna
When I lived in
There you go.
look.
Oh boy.
The
when I
dice
lived
man
in
is back.
Pennsylvania, we went up to New York City to Madison Square Gardens for a
Ooh.
weekend and to the Times Square and all that. That was the first time I ever had pizza by the slice.
Oh yeah. It's
Like
huge.
you buy it from a vendor right there, like a
A hot
roll up
dog.
window for a pizza store, like a shop, and you just buy it by the slice and you roll your pizza, and that's how you eat
Yeah,
it.
very thin.
Very thin. It was really weird, but I got used to it.
The best pizza I ever had in New York was at a gas station. They sold whole pizzas for $8, and they were weird flavors, and it was the best pizza ever. Like
Probably
they
a
had
Wawa.
I don't know what it was, but it was.
Yeah.
I stopped there once a week
It was
and
your
got
local Maverick, okay?
Well, they don't have that. That was delicious, but pizza everywhere. in New
Everybody's
York.
trying to steal
like
my
what they serve.
stuff. There's only one.
I
Yo,
love it. So tonight, I know we're continuing on. I mean, we do paranormal every Thursday, but we did not get to one of the spots that Mad Max wanted to get to. We didn't get to that
That's right.
discussion last week, so I thought let's go ahead and do that. So why don't you tell us all about it? And I have the picture up for you.
sweet.
Let me.
So,
Nice,
as you
nice,
guys
nice.
know, I am from beautiful Southern California. It's like 73 degrees there right now. It's gorgeous. So this is a picture of a house in Oxnard, California. And this is the Henry Levy house. This house was built in 1915. This house has 18 rooms. It has 18 rooms, and it was actually designed by Homer Glidden. I'm not sure who that is, but the
Glidden Paint
original
Company.
maybe I thought that was
Yeah.
Glidden. I don't know. I don't care.
Uh,
See, that's me. I don't care. So anyway, the original occupants were, like I said, Henry Levy, and there's actually a bank back home called the Bank of A. Levy. They had a lot of money, and what they would do is back in the day, they started a co-op, and then they started a bank, and then that was a big thing at home. So this house is kind of famous, and you might have seen it if you watched the Dude and Bro show. The Dude and Bro show was actually there. That's Ghost Adventures, Adele.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Dude, bro.
You know,
What?
Pocatello joke. No, so anyway, so this house has actually, there's a couple Instagram posts on it, and the owners now, his partner died 2 years ago, and they really started pushing this house. This house you can tour, and it's really cool because this part of the of Oxnard is called the historical district, and it's a requirement for these two streets, F, G, and H. See, I'm good at the alphabet too. They dress all these houses up for Christmas, and this is part of Candy Cane Lane. This particular house is actually dressed up for Halloween as well. So,
oh wow.
The guys that owned it right now, I can't remember Eric. I want to say Eric, really nice dude. He hold on, let me see if I can bring him up real quick. Anyway, they were from Beverly Hills, or I take that back, Hollywood. They both worked in Hollywood, so they were special effects people. So when they set their lights and they set their animatronics up, there's the house. It's off the chain. It is so friggin' awesome. But anyway, going back to this house, and well, of course, why wouldn't I have lost my stuff, huh? So it was in Melrose Place. It was actually
Oh wow.
what we did that night. It also known as Murder at Devil's Glen. It was in Ghost Adventures in 2022. Oh my gosh, why am I just?
You think about the
Yeah.
pizza.
I know, right? I lost my. I have. Oh my gosh, let me see something. Sorry about this. I apologize. I'm usually squared away. Not really, but I played off really good. Let's see.
Well, it's
so
a beautiful house.
Yes,
it's
very
beautiful. The first
it kind of
thing,
looks
so
like the house on our top right corner of the Pocatello
Kinda, huh?
Paranormal. Kind of looks like
Kinda.
that, man. It's got that creepy feel to it.
it does. It does. And at night, the way they have the lights on this house is just friggin' awesome. The whole right side, they have like a cemetery. It's cool. Let's see if I can find some Halloween pictures. It's really cool. But in the backyard, there's a huge marker. And this marker actually looks like there was just a piece of concrete dug in there. So they called some contractors out to take it apart. And after that is when they started hearing stuff in their house.
Oh,
So
okay.
they started hearing people walking with hard-soled shoes, and which is common back in the early 1900s. Came downstairs, and this is Eric's actually his interview. He said they removed the stoves, and once they removed that stone, all of the noises stopped. June of 22, he came downstairs in the morning, find all the back doors were wide open.
nice.
He checked it carefully the night before because this area, even though this is a beautiful home, this is a high crime area. There's a lot of bad things that go on in that area. So he said that he looked around after that morning. Nothing had been disturbed. The house was open. So he says that he pulled the videotape, and there's black mist running around the back part of this house.
Oh,
Oh,
Um,
oops.
they said
See
at
that.
one point on the video, there is you can see a hand that reaches out and closes the door.
Nice.
oh wow.
And like I said, when the Dude and Bro show went up, they there's a house just to the right where a little boy had been playing out in front of the house, and he got hit by a car. And
Oh,
so
wow.
they actually went over and talked to them. But this whole area has there's been a lot of death in this area, a lot of death in this house. This guy's Henry Levy's kid, one of his, I think his daughter died in this house. And you got to remember, in the 1900s, people died from the cold.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I think what ended up happening is she had a cold, went untreated, and she ended up dying, which is horrible.
Yeah.
We actually, Mudlover and I talked to Eric, and he's a really good guy, very good guy. He said, we're going to have an open house here if you guys want to come. And unfortunately, we were not able to make it. But I do have a couple Instagram of his Instagram addresses. I don't Instagram, so I don't know what you call them, you youngsters. But he unfortunately, like I said, his partner died a couple of years ago, and he's kind of fallen off of the Instagram videos. But some of the stuff, the videos are incredible.
Wow.
You hear voices talking, and it's just it's pretty awesome, pretty awesome.
I like that.
So
Yeah, it's a
definitely.
beautiful place. Now,
It definitely is.
fairly close to Point Magoo, right? Naval Air Station.
So
Point
yeah,
Magoo.
right in that general area. Magoo, Wainimi's closer. Magoo is farther out towards on your way down to where the Malibu fires were last year.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, I had
Wainimi,
a lot of buddies stationed at Point Magoo.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
And then
Point
Wainimi,
Yeah,
it's closer to Wainimi, yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha.
And
Okay.
yeah, Wainimi is a pretty cool place too. There's a lot of rumors about Wainimi. Mudlover's dad actually was one of the first people to work on Wainimi when they actually brought it all together. And I asked him some questions, and he was super secret. And I'd ask him those questions, and he'd say, "Of course, I can't say anything."
Right.
So but that was Dave.
Well,
So
let me ask you. So you go Santa Barbara, and then you have like.
Oh, the Bard Mansion as well. So you come Santa Barbara.
Then you come down to Oxnard, but up there on the mountainside there, I remember driving by there a few times with my dad, and he said that's where we were. The Japanese actually were shelling us.
Right. And so as you come down from as you come down all the way through, there was they actually had just north of Santa Barbara, they actually had they took, there was a couple torpedoes actually launched that did not detonate into some of those houses there. And as you come all the way down, so you come down Santa Barbara, you come into Montecito, and then you come into Carpinteria, and then you come into Ventura. As you're coming into Ventura, there's actually a gunnery or a gun placement area there. And pretty interesting stuff. It was very active. Wainimi is a deep water port. So there's a lot of secret stuff that goes there. And that's true. There's a Japanese cemetery there that's haunted as well.
Wow.
Well, Mudlover just brought up a Bard Mansion, and I think here's the Bard Mansion. I wanted to share that photo, and that's in Port Wainimi, huh? That's beautiful.
That's on the Wainimi base. And that place, I get the chicken skin just thinking about it.
Really?
Wow.
There's also on the Bard Mansion, if you're looking to the right, and Mudlover will I think confirm this, there's a place called the Dollhouse. And Yeah, it is very pretty. But one of Mr. Bard, who was a big name in Oxnard, actually built this house for his, I think, daughter, and it's the doll house, and there's all these old dolls in there. It's actually pretty cool. It's freaky
Oh
though.
wow.
No, no.
Yeah, it's behind it. Yes.
Yeah, that's
And we
That's
toured.
awesome.
Yeah, we toured the Bard Mansion one night. It was pretty cool.
yeah, no,
Hmm.
no dolls. No dolls. Hey Jesse, what are you doing, man? You're out, you're in, you're in, you're out. What's going on?
I'm jumping in and out. It's I'm trying to possess.
You are possessed.
You're something. Where's
So do you
Gizmo?
want
You
me
need
to
to grab
share-
Gizmo.
We have a house that Gizmo. How is Gizmo? He's been feeling kind of grumpy.
Yes. He's fine. He had his chiropractor appointment the other day. He's doing fine. Yeah.
Is he?
Who's Gizmo?
Okay. Poor little, he's a little pug,
Oh, cute.
and he was really grumpy. He even looked grumpy. He wasn't. He was a little in pain.
I've never seen a pug that's never looked grumpy though.
Oh, he always looks so fun though. He always looks like he's having a
Oh,
fun
okay.
He's a Frenchie. He's a Frenchie.
Oh.
He's
He's
a
a Frenchie.
miniature
Okay.
miniature French
Ah.
bulldog.
So I'm going to
Let's
share.
see.
I'm going to share a picture of this place. If I can find it, there it is. So this
He's French,
place,
so he's pissed off all the time.
Oui, oui.
Where's that?
this place is in Coloma, California, right where they
Oh, okay.
discovered the gold that started the gold rush, and it's called the
Oh,
Vineyard
yeah.
House. It is now a private home, but for years
Yikes.
and years and years, this was a restaurant and a bar.
Hmm.
And it is insanely haunted. And it was on the old, remember Leonard Nimoy did In Search of?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was on an episode of In Search of. And I loved In Search of because like 90% of it was paranormal. And it was like the best show. You can still stream it if you find, even when you know, on different platforms. So my mom, go ahead.
I was going to make a totally random comment that I'd never lived in a house that didn't have something in it.
Well, let me tell you the history
Okay.
of this. So
Okay,
So-
yeah, I'm like,
okay, so this place was built in let's see, when was the year that it was built? It's on the historic register, I think, and it was built right around the gold rush, I believe. It was the mid 1800s, and they've added on to it. But in the bottom, let me show you with my mouse. Like down here, there was a bar down in the basement, and it was all rock, and you could go down into the bar, and there was a room down there. I remember going with my mom because she did a paranormal investigation in here. I want to say
Oh,
it was like
wow.
1971, somewhere in there.
They
'Cause
had
I was
ghost back then?
barely, I don't think I was 10 years old yet when I tagged along with her. And so she was down in the basement area, and the Chalmers built this place. I think it was the Chalmers or Chambers. Chalmers. Yeah. Robert and Louisa Chalmers built this place. And apparently at some point, either Robert or Robert's son was going a little round the bend. And they didn't know what to do with him at the time. And they built a dungeon type room, and he was chained in the basement.
Oh my god.
wow.
For his,
Was that their disappointments room?
yeah, and I don't know if he died down there. I suspect that he probably did. And let me just read you some of the experiences. I can tell you what my mom's experience was. I mean, there was a lot of dark energy down there in the bar in the basement
Oh,
area.
wow.
It was really not good. The restaurant was more of a high-end restaurant. By the time I was an adult, was going to the restaurant, it had become pretty high-end. It was very nice, like fine china and tablecloths, which you don't get a lot in my county, and not at the time. And it was really nice. And then they had rooms that they would rent up here. They were running a smaller, like almost like a B&B upstairs, right? But people had terrifying events in this place. And my mom had gone, they asked her to come back and conduct a seance.
Wow.
Yes. And so it was her and some other mediums that she worked with at the time. And I don't know why. I mean, they called it a seance, but honestly, when you work with a medium, it's 24/7 seance all the time, right? I mean, It's not like you're sitting around the table and everything's levitating. But they did in the restaurant one night after they closed down. My mom and a bunch of mediums came in and they conducted this because the people who owned this at the place, and this was about the time In Search Of was filming, and In Search Of used some of this information that they gleaned from their work in this place. But there was just really dark energy in here. And I think it was mainly centered around the poor boy who they didn't have mental health services back in the 1800s. So he lived this horrific life chained up in this basement. And there were chains down there still. Like if you went back into the back corner recesses of this basement, there were chains like leg irons.
Wow.
So it was terrible. There was a lot. This room up here, let me point to it where you can see it. This room was very intense when I was in there. A lot of negative stuff. But here's some of the stories. Like they did a murder mystery dinner at the Vineyard House like over 40 years ago. And there was a reporter from a newspaper who wanted to give them some good press, but they went into the basement and there's this separate enclosed stairwell, and they went into the landing off this little stairwell into the basement. And they said, yeah, there were stair walls were stone. Remember, it was an old stone basement. And the reporter and some people were violently shoved down the stairs.
Oh my gosh.
They all
Wow.
That kind of stuff went on there all the time. People who worked in there, who were in the kitchen or in the restaurant or in the bar, said at midnight, the intensity of that building would go off the charts.
Wow.
Like they all dreaded that midnight stroke of midnight because they said the whole vibe would instantly change.
Wow.
And like become heavy and dark, and they wanted out of there. People who went in there with like, I don't believe in any of this stuff, came out going, whoa, I never want to go in that building again. So it was really interesting. And Coloma by itself, Coloma, because you have the old Sutter's Fort right there and the old sawmill, and everywhere they discovered the gold, it's literally just a couple 100 feet from this building. The little church that I got married in is literally right behind the fence of this building. So it's all very, very historic, super old. Marshall's, the monument is right above that house on the hill for Marshall, who discovered the gold nuggets and the American River, who started the gold rush. So all of that is just right there. And it's literally it's all walking distance. You can just walk to all of it. And the river is just right there, right around the corner. So you have moving water that's conductive to paranormal stuff. You have all the history. And then you have this horrible history of this young man who probably lived his whole life in chains.
Yeah.
And
in a dark.
that's just, So now the sign is there. It says Vineyard House, but it says warning, keep out. Then now it's private property again. It's back to a house. And they don't want to be disturbed. So please don't disturb these people. But yeah.
That's amazing. You know, that's like painting your house pink and saying whatever you do, don't look at the pink house when you drive by.
Yeah.
That's like the Amityville Horror House.
Right.
They changed
Oh,
the
yeah.
address, you know, but it's
Yeah.
still the Amityville Horror House.
It always will be.
Craziness.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually was watching In Search Of a couple of winters ago. I was streaming it on, I don't know if it was Hulu or one of those channels. I found it and I'm like, oh my God. So I started watching it all again, and I couldn't wait for that episode to come up because it was such a neat. And Jesse, you'd get a kick out of this. So right across the street, you have Cold Springs Road and Highway 49. They join, and there's the Vineyard House, and there's this old minor cemetery. So all of the guys that came in from the gold rush are buried right there. And you have all of these monuments. You can't even read the dates or the names. They're just granite stones. Sometimes you kind of catch a letter, but that whole hill, it's full of oak trees and pine trees and all of these graves in there, and it's really something. I used to go sit in there and do my college homework because it was so quiet.
It's the best place ever.
Yeah.
Nobody talked out of line.
Nope, nobody bothered me. If I sat down by the river, you'd get all of the river raptors hooting and hollering coming down the rapids.
That's all right.
You go sit in the graveyard. Everybody left you alone. That's pretty cool.
Hence why I'm alone.
My mom used to say cemeteries were the most safest place to hang out. I beg to differ because I've heard a lot of bad stories about some crazies that go hang out in cemetery. Oh, never mind. Sorry.
Yeah. So Adele, tell us some of your experiences.
Well, the very first one I ever had was my brother passed away when he was 29, and he was very young. He was my younger brother. And we had just finished burying him, and it was the night of, the funeral and all that stuff. And he had lived in Arizona for a while. No, sorry, Texas for a while. So they brought all his stuff back. And so I was sleeping on his couch in our family room with his blanket on top of me. And no joke, 3 a.m., I remember just laying there. And I remember him in my mind, he kept saying, Adele, do you want to see me? I'm like, oh, no, I don't. And he did it 100 times because he was very, very always like that in life. And so I said, okay, one time. And then I went, no. And I know I've never been paralyzed in fear before. And I couldn't open my eyes, remove my body. But in the corner of our family room, there was this like ghostly white, and it was his figure. And then it was gone. And so I opened my eyes. I'm like, what the hell was that? And I just knew it was him. I knew. And so I was like 32 at the time. I wanted to jump in bed with my parents. But the next morning, all my sisters, we all got in the living room or all got in the kitchen. I said, I tell you guys, Ron came to me last night. And my sister went, oh, he came to me. And my other sisters, oh, he came to me. And my other sister was like, he didn't come to me. And so it was just that bond was still there. And I have a better bond with him as a brother now than I ever did when he was alive. So
he's a trickster.
Yeah, it's real. And I've never I can feel spirits and Carmen can see them. So living both here, we've got such a vibe that when people come here that are paranormal people, they feel things, but they've never felt anything dark or evil because they all stay outside. And she's seen the evil outside. But yeah, we've got stuff that goes on here all the time. Like, in fact, the other night I was feeling kind of lonely, and I said that out loud. I said, I feel kind of lonely. And I was in my bed and somebody smacked me, just smacked me. And I'm like, hello. And then they hugged me, and I'm like, what's going on? And then a couple hours later, they pulled my blanket down. And you can't make this stuff up around here. And so I'm like, Carmen, did anyone visit you last night? She goes, no. I'm like, I think somebody came to let me know that I was good, that I was not, lonely, shouldn't be lonely. Yeah, that we have flashing lights all the time. We have a lamp that we found in our downstairs in the basement, and we brought it up and we turned it on, and after a while it started flashing, and it was on a Sunday. It wouldn't stop flashing. It was on it was just crazy. And so Carmen said, I'm going to go in there and check the bulb. And she heard someone say, stop. And it stopped. And she goes, okay. So she backed away.
Wow.
So there's a lamp that just when we have spirits close, it communicates with us. So yeah, our house is full all the time, but we don't feel unsafe. We feel very, very safe. So
that's good. That's good.
I feel like that was your brother that did that.
I thought
you were alone. When you said you were alone, I think he was smacking you, and he said, "You're not alone."
No, he's not. Thank you, because he was always a jokester. So
I just said that before I did. I was like, he was a jokester.
Oh,
he always joked with you.
Yes, always.
Yeah.
Just a funny bone. He's just such a funny bone. So can I share another story too? That is one of my favorites.
Absolutely.
So, huh?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I've got so many. Well, one of my favorite ones is my dad passed away a couple years ago, and no one told me that he died. So our
Oh.
family is very dysfunctional. And so I found out through a family friend, and I was devastated, you know, because, well, my dad and I, we had a pretty good relationship, but my sisters and my mother just not so good. Anyway, so Carmen and I went out to eat one night, and my dad had been dead for about a year, and I hadn't really heard much from him, or I'd seen some things that he had moved, you know, it was one of those pictures. Anyways, so I had this little play toilet in the corner with a little baby sitting on it, like a just fake baby, because I thought it was cute and everyone laughed at it. But one day we came in that night, and I heard something just go there, boom, and I looked and I didn't see anything. Carmen's like, "Did you see that?" I'm like, "No, I heard it." She goes, "That baby jumped from that toilet." So someone had kicked the toilet and the baby just went flying. And we felt that was my dad, because he was a jokester too.
He was a jokester too. So
yep, he totally was. So now he and my brother up there running around and messing around with my house here and
creating chaos.
all the time. Yeah. We have quite a few. We have at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that we know of that frequent here quite often. So
wow,
it's really fun.
You guys find pennies all the time? Like pennies or things are being moved all the time?
Dimes, lots of dimes.
I was just thinking money. I was just saying pennies, but
Yep.
Obviously nobody has pennies. I mean, I do, and they may go collection. But
yeah, I find dimes all the time. Love that. And I had to Google it when it first started happening. I'm like, what's going on? And it was after I'd gotten married. And my brother, I didn't marry a very good guy, and so there was change everywhere all the time. And so when I looked into that later on, I knew that he was looking out for me. So he loves his.
And there's a certain smell, like with your brother, though. You get a certain smell that it's your brother. There's like a different type of cologne that he wore or something.
I don't remember a cologne that he wore, but I know I smelled a lot of vanilla when after I got divorced into my apartment that I lived, that all this started happening. And a lot of things, like his picture would fall off the wall all the time.
Oh yeah.
And it's just, I know he has like a best friend up there, and they're always messing around. And he finally told me who he was, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you're joking me. But yeah, they're just two peas in a pod. They're just crazy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you for sharing that. That's nice to know.
I think it's really
I hang out in the
cool.
graveyard.
No, I don't want to do that. No, I actually would. I love stuff like this, and I would love to be on a hunt, or I have dowsing rods that I use, and we've had some really cool experiences there at the house. Carmen for Christmas got me a spirit box, and I love that. And so it's just been really eye-opening to see things, hear things, and I get a lot of comfort from that too. Because sometimes I turn on the box, and the first thing I heard was "I love you." It was cool. It was very cool.
That is cool.
My dad.
Yeah, we have a trailer full of equipment. Not that we take it all every time, but honestly, that's the one device that I have a hard time using is a spirit box.
Oh, okay.
And that's the one that works the best for me.
Yeah, see, a lot of people could really use them. For me, it's like a dog whistle. It's like I hear it and I'm an instant migraine. I don't know what it is. I can't figure it out. I can't figure it out.
A lot of energy. It's energy.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's
but it's
Lane's wife. Hey, Lane's wife.
Hey, Lane's wife.
You remember her, right, Max? Or
Monday. Yeah.
Thanks for coming by, Lane's wife.
Yeah.
And Sherry. And Mud.
So, Jesse, if you were to say you had a historic home that you visited, what would be the one that sticks out the most in your mind for the level of activity? Because you've been to the Mackey Mansion, you've been to all of these places.
Yes. Yeah. I would say, man, I have a handful of them. For me, honestly, I am going to say it would be the Mackey Mansion. I haven't had the most experience with a lot of other places just because I haven't been there yet. But I would say the Mackey Mansion just because there was so much energy in that area. And it's not just the Mackey Mansion. And nobody knows I do shorts of places that I have visited. And I just finished Tombstone, right? And then I did, I think, 2 or 3 episodes. I did Virginia City, Nevada. And if nobody's ever been there, please do so. Go there. It's amazing.
Yeah, cool.
There's a lot of history. There's a lot of we have to look deep past like and I'm going to do a spill here, but we got to look past the tourism, if that makes sense. And granted, that's how a lot of these beautiful people make their living. They are amazing people. They truly care about this area and the preservation. It's kind of like, Butte, Montana, when we go there, there's a lot of people there that love the town and do truly care about the preservation of these historical buildings, because they're all pretty much dying every day if you really think about it. I'm sure Colleen can say a handful of places where she's from that are probably no longer there anymore because nobody cared.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, but I would say the Mackey Mansion for me was top notch. Just for me as experience for me to really see if I truly, believe in myself, if that makes sense. So I've said a handful of times that no one is perfect in this type of light work. I guess it's to me it's not light work, just because sometimes we get a little heavy with it, and I'm sure it's not something you can turn it off, but you can't turn it off, know, and it's definitely there no matter how much you put it in the back of your mind. I was super honored, just to be able to experience whatever spirit that did come through. And again, nobody's going to have the same experience when you're a medium. Everybody's different. Everybody experiences things differently. But, like the common ground, and as well as we as a team, we still come to the same conclusion. We still come to the same conclusion that that people want to reach out. Spirit wants to reach out, because, again, they want us to know that they're there. Like, and unfortunately, there are some negative spirits that like us to know that they're there. And I think a lot of people really do look towards like the negative aspect of things when people cross over. And of course, it's been dramatized in certain shows.
Dude and Bro Show.
Yeah.
Dude and Bro Show.
Yeah.
So
and yeah. Yeah,
I'd like to.
Lynn, who started this group with me, she's passed away now, rest her soul. But but Lynn and I went to the Mackey Mansion I took Lynn to Virginia City, Nevada. I took her to Tahoe. I took her all over where I grew up, Coloma, all of that. But we went to the Mackey Mansion. We were the only two in there. And it was phenomenal, and Lynn connected in a big way. And I can't it was a woman, but I can't remember the woman's name. Do you remember her name?
I don't. I know it's Mrs. Mackey.
Was it Mrs. Mackey?
She
very
is she is very high society, very like to the book. She definitely had issues with some of the Lady of the Nights there, just because of other issues. But she's very, like, when you walk into the mansion, you have like the main assay working area. I believe they use that as an assay office,
I think
at one time. But there is also a sitting room or a parlor room, which was off to the left. And that was her area. She definitely occupied that area quite frequently. And if things are not put where they are supposed to be, especially even the items that they have in that room, Wow. Yes,
That's
exactly.
my dog.
But I'm just saying, like, I think at one time they had like a tea set there, but they're very careful of putting anything that's era of that time because it's very fragile. Um, but they have like a replica, or did have a replica. I haven't been there for many years. Things could have changed. But if there's any type of change or movement within that area, she gets very, very upset. Like that is not how she wants things. So that was a lot of experience with that. Yeah. And then I had a handful experience, yes, in that area, like
Oh, wow.
we're looking at the front when we're coming in, but where that pine tree is and everything, there was a lot of activity there. Now the mine is not that far away
Well, these are
from the
mine
Mackey.
tailings. That's all
Yeah.
mine tailings back here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not that far away. And of course, we've got the two guys that decided to try to rob this Mackey Inn, and it did not turn out very successful for them. But I kept getting a replay of them trying to continuously rob this Mackey Inn. It wasn't the inn at the time, but it was a mansion and the assay office. And of course, in the assay office, and Colleen, you could probably correct me if I'm wrong, they kept a lot of the dust and everything in there.
Well, they weighed the gold and they had
Mhm.
cash because the miners would come in and they'd
Yeah.
weigh the gold and they determine how many carats
Mhm.
of the gold
Oh.
that they had, because some gold is more pure than others, so they
Yes.
could determine the purity of the gold and the weight of the gold and then pay them cash right then and there if they wanted it.
Yes.
So there's a lot of
Yep.
gold and a lot of money sitting there.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, they it was just a continuous replay of what they did constantly. At least that's what I experienced. And of course, my cowboy with the mustache, he was down in the dining room. And the Mackey Mansion is built kind of strange. There's, of course, you got the top where the bedrooms were, you got the main floor, and then down it seems like a basement, but it's actually the main level floor. That's where the dining room is, and the kitchen is in there. So that's where he kind of hangs out. And he didn't really give me a lot of impression. He was part of the mine, but he also, he was very put. Like he didn't want to give me a lot, but he definitely had no problem showing himself. So he likes to do that. He likes to scare people. Yeah, he'll definitely walk into the dining room quite frequently and out the door. So he loves it.
So Lane's wife made a comment that she'd been to the Fairweather Inn in Virginia City, Montana, and seen a gentleman in period yellow pinstripe suit demanding newspapers on the table in the sitting room. That's fascinating.
Wow.
A yellow
Nice.
pinstripe suit. That's pretty snazzy.
Yeah.
That's something Doc would wear.
I
Doc
think
would be good in
Mark
yellow
Twain
pinstripe.
used to wear stuff like
Absolutely.
that.
Leopard print hat.
With my fuzzy leopard print hat
Yeah. So
and my cape.
Like an actor, like he was an actor.
yeah,
Wow.
Because they had the opera house there, and they had a lot of actors and actresses that would come through, and that almost sounds like he was an actor, like from a main play, because not cowboys or miners didn't have the money to wear those type of suits unless they were high society, of course. But I almost got that instant, like he wanted his paper so he can see the business of the day.
Yeah. We have we had an old opera house and it's still standing in Pocatello. And when you come under the Center Street Bridge and come up, you have a lawyer's office on the right. and then you have another like a 3-story building or 2-story building, and that was the old Pocatello Opera House. And yeah,
Jack
hi
from
Jack.
UK.
Yeah, it's awesome that you're here. That Pocatello Opera House, if you go downstairs, we went in there. It was a furniture company for quite a long time. And we went downstairs, and there's one, it had burned at one time, but it had been rebuilt. So there's an existing brick wall down there. And the actors and the opera singers all signed their names, and they're still there. All those signatures are there on that brick wall. And they would bring ladies of the evening down there because it's connected to all the tunnels. And they had a lot of shenanigans going on down there. They had gambling and drinking and everything else. And that was the basement was supposed to be.
There is a speakeasy underneath Pocatello. Just where exactly it was, I think it was under the Yellowstone, but that's just me.
It could be, yeah. Oh, thank you, Jack. So we have I talked about this a little bit with Trista on our Creme de la Cringe show. That's our murder show. So Creme de la Cringe is our other channel that we have, and it's just old murders. Like, we research really old murders from like 1700s, 1800s. But we kind of got off on a tangent the other night, and we were talking about the tunnels in Pocatello.
Yes.
Or no, this was on Wednesday night's show, last night's show. We were talking about the tunnels because Annie Halls has tunnels, and all of these old buildings along First Street and Main Street have tunnels, and they all connected. Yeah. And there was really naughty things that were going on down there. Some of them included loss of life.
Yeah. Wasn't that was the first, and that was what I wanted to kind of touch a little bit too, was my very first investigation with Pocatello Paranormal was Annie Halls.
Annie Halls.
And I'd never been there, ever.
Right.
And I remember I went downstairs and I was getting flood of everything. Wow. And I went downstairs and I looked at Colleen and I said, is there a tunnel here? Like, I felt like traffic constantly. And she's like, I don't know. And then the lady who was helping us moved the fridge. Mm-hmm. And I said, there it is. There's the tunnel.
There's a tunnel door.
We're going through. And then I did pick up a lot about, I think it was at the second or third floor, because it was kind of awkward, right?
Third floor.
The third floor.
The little boy was hiding in all of the wedding dresses, and
it was a little Oriental boy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he would hide.
It was mind blowing.
And he would grab like people's ankles, like that's how he would play. And behind this area,
that ain't playing. No, that's not the way we play.
Well, do you remember the bear dog?
Yes, I remember the bear dog. Yeah,
the bear dog on the wheels. Mad Max, did you go on that investigation, or Doc? Were either of you on that one?
That might have been. I think that was before me.
Yeah, that was before our time, I believe.
Okay, it was before yours. Okay, so we had the bear dog, and they have these really old toys. Some of them probably for the turn of the century, 1800, 1900, right?
Oh, wow.
And it was missing a wheel. It had a rope, so the kids would just. We didn't know if it was a bear or a dog. That's how old and decrepit this thing was. So we called it a bear dog. And it was missing a wheel. Well, they would find this thing. They would always put it on the top shelf. And they'd come in the mornings kind of randomly. And it would be down in the basement or on the first floor or hidden in the wedding dresses. Yeah. So Jack is saying that he's... mind if I jump on the vid and chill with y'all? Well, let's get to know each other off camera first. Because I would love to hear from you, since you said that you are investigating in London since 2003. That would be fascinating.
Would be awesome to hear about.
Everything that we think's old here is not old. Mm-hmm. I would love that though. So go to our shoot us a I think you can send us a message right on YouTube, or go to our Facebook page. It's the same name, Pocatello Paranormal Research, and shoot us a comment or a private message, and I'll set up a time to talk with you, because I would love to have you on the show one night as a guest.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
And have another
that would
investigator
be
talk
awesome.
about your experiences. That would be incredible.
Yeah,
I
but-
can't even imagine.
Yeah,
London.
I mean, I mean, that's the mix. We've only been around for 250 years. This
know,
dude
right?
has seen stuff that's been around a lot longer
A
than
lot
that.
longer than that. I would love to
You
hear
know.
from your stuff.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
I'd love to
Jen.
have you on the show. Yeah. So
The Lady in
and
Gray
we-
is my favorite. Just saying. I love her.
What is?
The Lady in Gray? The Lady Gray.
Oh, yeah, Lady
That's
Gray.
who.
Yeah. Haven't got Facebook. Anyway, I can DU him here. No,
Perfect. Yeah.
I'm gonna put because it's our email, my email to the team in the comments.
I know that when I went to Rome, the energy there is, it is way different. It is out there. We went to, we went all over the place. One of the places we went to, the Puccino Crypts. It was the church that was made out of bones. I for the life of me can't remember.
Oh, yeah.
But with all the monks' bones, they decorate the entire church. And boy, I was lit up like a Roman candle walking through there.
I
that a
can't
had the
imagine the
goosebumps.
energy in that.
Oh no, and I got a bad habit. I always got to touch something, and I'll be danged if I didn't touch one of the bones, and that was it. As I was walking out, I think I told you guys about this. The priest that was sitting on the outside called me out of the entire group, and he's like, "Hey, I need you to carry this with you," and he gave me a medallion that I still carry with me to this day on my body.
Wow.
All the time, because he picked me out of everybody, and he's talking in his language, and the nun there was translating, and anyway, it amounted to I needed to carry this medallion with me because apparently I'm a
You're
candle
trouble.
or
Trouble.
something like that. But that's been me all my life. But that's I could imagine. I'd love to go to the UK and feel what it's like over there. That would be.
Jack said we have
Something
centuries
else.
of history here. Yeah, like we're celebrating our 250th anniversary this year, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
If we all go, I'd be like, Doug, please don't touch anything.
yeah. His hands to his side.
I'll be wearing my white coat with the arms in the back.
Hey, that's mine. You.
But don't worry, they got it in various sizes.
I'm telling you, I would love to go. I would love to go to England, Scotland, Ireland, Wales, all of those. It's my heritage, right? So I want to go because it's my heritage. But Romania is on the list. I mean, I want to go to the forest. I want to go to Vlad's castle. I just want to experience it all, And here I am in the windiest place on the earth.
Yeah. At least today.
Pocatello,
That's
Idaho.
Wednesday.
Pocatello. God, what is up with the wind that's been nonstop, you guys? I can't stand it. Yeah, it is. It's been like a hurricane for days. It's crazy. So, but okay, bucket list places that you want to go, Doc.
Top places that I want to go.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Egypt.
Egypt.
I've seen the pyramids in Mexico. Been there. Ooh, really, really, a lot of really funky energy there. I felt like I was. Yeah. And also in the Mexico City, DF. With
Did
the
you
Sun
hear
Pyramid,
about
the Moon Pyramid.
there was a
Yes, and they
shooter
spilled blood on the
on the-
ground. Oh yeah,
unbelievable
there was blood
on
spilled on the
pyramid
ground.
down there. Yeah.
Yep.
Adele,
Volcano.
your bucket list place.
I have wanted to go to Hawaii for a long time, and I don't really want to go. I don't want to go to where all the, all the tourists go. I want to go to the places where the people who live there go, and
Okay.
just experience different places, different things. Like when I turned 50, I had like a little vision, and it helped me see some things. And that's part of the vision was in Hawaii. And so I want to go there and see what I saw in my vision. So yeah,
Nice.
very excited.
Yep. How about you, Max?
Well, I'm more of a domestic guy. You guys want to travel international. I think we do have a lot of, I think we have a lot of stuff here domestically that I'd like to check out. Dakotas,
Oh, yeah.
Florida. A lot of the stuff on the East Coast that clearly they're a lot older than we here are in PNW, but that's the kind of stuff I'd like to check out.
Cool.
Just to see.
Yeah. Jess.
Okay, I know last time I said Romania, but I do say one place that I would love to go to is I'd go to Scotland, just because there's this one place I want.
It's the kilts.
Yeah, there's a manor there that has the 2 stags on the top, like on the gate. I want to go there so bad. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to see the bridge where all the dogs jump off, and why. Like, I want to go there.
That one, I've heard about that.
Yeah, it's fascinating to me. Like, what is going on? What are they hearing? Is it a wind effect? Is it a low intensity hum? Like,
I'm wondering if it's a energy vortex.
It could be. I'd like to see that for myself. I'd like to take some equipment and kind of figure that out. Because that's one of the theories with Dyatlov Pass, right? Is that it could have been this low intensity hum that comes in from the wind over the mountains that drives people kind of nutty. Wow. You get down to a low enough megahertz, it causes a psychotic break.
Wow.
Yes. So I'm wondering, and that's a theory of that pass. So I'm wondering, could it be some kind of an intensity of a high or low frequency that only they can hear and we're not hearing it? That's some natural.
Is it only dogs, or was it cats and other animals?
No, it's only dogs. It's
dogs.
only dogs.
Okay.
That's why I'm thinking it's got to be either a really high frequency or a really low. You know?
You're probably right with that.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's amazing because when they talk about the dog bridge, I can't remember what it's called, but that dogs just completely freak out, and they will actually jump off, and it's only one corner of the bridge that they all jump off of.
Huh.
It's pretty bizarre.
Yeah.
Do they live when they jump?
No.
Do they live?
Nah, I don't think so.
Oh my God.
So
don't take your dog there. Don't take her.
Yeah, no. Well, if you do, obviously have it in a
keep it on a leash,
leash, But yeah, it's been a phenomenon that's gone on for quite a long time, and I think if you took the right kind of equipment, you might be able to solve it.
Yeah,
especially something that's determining radio frequency or pitch.
Right.
Sound vibration, something like that.
Yeah.
If you took the right kind of equipment, you might be able to figure out what's going on and then trace it back to, is this a natural, is an effect coming from the wind coming, the way the bridge is designed?
Hitting the bridge in a certain way, or the mountains, or whatnot.
Or is it something they could fix, Then you could start.
It's called the Overton. It's called the Overton Bridge in Dumbarton, Scotland.
Yeah.
And dogs have been jumping off since the 50s and 60s. There's 300 to 600 dogs that have jumped off, with at least 50 of them dying. Yeah.
Yeah.
They do say that the dogs often breeds with a long nose, and they tend to leap in the same spot.
Well, I wonder then. Okay.
If they all have a long nose, it's got to be a vibrational thing. It's got to be where.
So Gizmo's going to be okay.
Are from Scotland, right? The bloodhounds came from Scotland.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they're bloodhound breeds or some kind of scent dog that are that
Yeah.
are the primary. I don't know. Maybe it's a scent thing. I don't know.
Don't
They
take
say
You know,
the white-
bloodhounds, for as smart as they are, they're as dumb as a rock. They can find anything.
Come on,
but they are
Banshee's
dumb as a
awesome.
rock. I mean,
Banshee is awesome. I mean, you gotta love Banshee. Look at that face. Are you
she's
kidding
so
me?
stupid. She's so stupid.
Basset hounds.
But
Yeah,
they
Basset
talk
Hound.
about they talk about the White Lady of Overton, and she has a spiritual activity for drawing the animals. A lot of
wow.
retrievers and collies. Yeah.
Interesting.
So there you go.
Oh,
Well, there you
wait.
go.
There's
There's
some
our show.
I think I heard the white lady from Hazelton getting up. Snowflake's been sick for a while and in bed. So
Aw, poor thing. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. And Jack, absolutely send us an email. I'd like to hear from you and arrange a time for us to meet. And we'd love to have you on the show.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of
so
fun.
cool.
I love to network with other investigators and hear what you guys are up to. So, and Adele, welcome to the group.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
So much fun. Yeah. So, remember, Max and Doc have their own shows now on Monday nights, where those two nuts talk about everything
And nothing.
And
at the
nothing at
same
all.
time.
We do have our live psychic show on Wednesday nights where we do tarot card readings, and we also have another paranormal discussion. It's a lot of fun. That show is getting really big. It's really taking off. Emily does a wonderful job with tarot reading. And then we're always here Thursday nights. And and we Creme de la Cringe, that's our murder show. That's on YouTube with Trista and I. She's also on our team. And then what's our other thing we're doing? Oh, I have the farm show where it's just fun animals all the time.
Oh,
And that's Irish Hill Farm 208. And the 208 is the Idaho area code. So you can go to Irish Hill Farm, and I just do shorts of the animals. It's kid friendly. It's just animals and fun and goofiness. And at some point I'll have more baby goats because Jesse and I want to put them in ballerina outfits.
Oh my God.
That'd be so cool.
I want to put Seamus in some overalls. I have this obsession.
Seamus would be excellent in overalls. He's just grumpy
And a
enough
straw
to put
hat.
that on.
And a straw hat. Yeah.
Yeah. Tortilla stuffed in his pocket.
Yeah. Of course, he'll eat the overalls, but you know. But anyway, that's our show tonight, guys. Thanks, everybody. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you guys later. Bye.
All right. Thanks for coming by.